Back to church we finally go. After 15 months, we back in St. James's Park. Sheffield United match preview. Welcome back to Black and White Banter, everyone. I've got a bit of a spring in my step today. Midweek game, it's always nice to have an extra fixture to make the week go over a bit quicker. But this one's a little bit different. We are finally allowed back in St. James's Park. I don't care whether I've got to put a mask on. I don't care whether I can't come for a pint at half time. I don't care whether I've got to stay seated the whole match. I don't care about Steve Bruce being in the dugout. I don't give a shit about any of that. We are finally allowed in our home away from home, St. James's Park, the Holy Grail, for a football match after 15 months. 15 months. February 2020 was the last time we were in St. James's Park. Fuck, that's a long time. So, it's an exciting one. I've been very, very lucky to get a ticket in the ballot. Any Newcastle fans watching this who didn't manage to get a ticket, my heart does go out to you, and I genuinely mean that because it sucks ass. The way I would have done it is I would have based this all off loyalty points and longevity of season tickets. So if you've someone who's had a season ticket for 25 years, you should 100% be going to St. James's Park before someone who's had a season ticket for a year. How they haven't done it that way is backward, and again, it baffles me why loyalty isn't being rewarded. I know everyone has circumstances why they can't maybe afford season tickets. They've had to cancel to go and work away. I'm not saying it makes anyone less of a fan. I just think there's a lot of people who deserve to be going to that football match more than me. But that's just acknowledging that. Oh, God, I've got a Steve Bruce stuck in my throat. So, yeah, that sucks for Newcastle fans who can't go. I don't believe in that system, but now that I've got that out of the way, I don't really give a shit because I'm going. The pub's back open today as well, so we can all, not only can we go to St. James's Park, yes, we can't get a pint inside because that would involve standing, COVID regulations, all that bollocks, but we can go for a pint beforehand. We don't have to sit in a beer garden with long johns on and oven mitts. We can go into a pub, sit down with friends, have a couple of beers before the game, walk up them beautiful steps in St. James's Park. We might not hear the roar because there's only going to be 10,000 of us in there, so it's going to feel a little bit weird. But I've been to pre-season friendlies before. I've been in the stadium before when there's only been 15,000, 16,000 people in there. FA Cup games in the past have had a shit attendance. So I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait just to travel over, get in the city, walk up them steps, scan the ticket. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So Sheffield United, after the contrasting weekends for both teams, we put in an absolutely fantastic performance. So not really contrasting weekends. I'm going to take that back. Sheffield United are buoyed by an absolutely incredible win by their standards away at Everton on Sunday. If anyone managed to watch that, they actually played pretty well. I did watch most of the second half. So they're going into this with a bit of confidence. We put in an absolutely monumental shift against the best team in the world at the moment. So we've now scored 7 goals in 2 games against a couple of the top 4, the current top 4, top 5. So great for us at the moment. I'm not going to sit here and slate any of the lads. I'm not going to sit here and slate Steve Bruce. I've still got my opinions on him as a manager. I don't want him as our current coach. I just feel like the developments in the last 3 to 4 weeks have been coincided with our best players coming back. Everything that went before that was absolutely not acceptable in my opinion, so I'm yet to be convinced otherwise. But I'm not going to complain at the moment. We are playing a lot more free-flowing football. Obviously, Wilson's out injured, which is a bit of a shaft, but I thought Joe Linton on Friday did put in a shift. I thought he's starting to look a little bit better. I do agree with what some of the journalists have said about him in the last couple of days, how he is starting to look a little bit better. When I say a little bit better, Newcastle fans, I do mean that in the strongest possible context. I'm not saying he looks fantastic. I am not saying he looks a £40 million player, and I am not saying he is the solution to any of our goal-scoring problems, because let's face it, he's not a centre-forward. But he's looked better. He's influenced the game better. He's had a substantial contribution. And that penalty for a bloke, he knows in his head that he is getting stick week in, week out, that we aren't convinced by him still. For him to step up and smash that penalty in, No chance for the goalkeeper at all on Friday. Fair play to the lad. So it looks like he'll probably play. Our free-flowing football has been a lot better. Counter-attacking on Friday was super effective. Now, this Sheffield United game is going to be a lot different to that. I would like to hope we would go back to a style of play that we saw a lot more of against Leicester. We don't need to camp behind the ball as much. We can have a bit of possession, play a bit of football against Sheffield United, because let's face it, Newcastle fans, we don't often say it. We are expecting 3 points on Wednesday. I'm going to say it. They might have beat Everton on Sunday. They might be buoyed by that. They might have absolutely nothing to lose. And we have nothing to play for. But we are playing at home against a team who's only maybe won, what? Is it like 5 games all season? They were on to get the joint record lowest points total. That's obviously evaporated now, but they were on to get that. And let's face it, aside from anything, I do not want Newcastle to be one of the only teams, I think the only team that Sheffield United do the double over this season. That's not fucking happening. So I'm expecting of 3 points. I think any less, maybe, you know, it'd push, you would say, an exciting draw, a 2-2, maybe 3. You'd come away not too pissed off because we're already safe, but I do want 3 points on Wednesday. Some players, it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for us to get as fans behind some of the players who've never seen us fans in the stadium. The likes of Joe Willock, I'm sure he'll get an absolutely fantastic reception. He'll get one from me. And it's just going to be nice to be back in there. I hope the atmosphere is not toxic. We don't need that in our first game back. I hope it's not going to be. I think it will be. I've seen lots of jokey messages on social media. The fruit and veg stores are going to run out of cabbages. Yes, it's an opportunity for a lot of us to make our feelings known on Steve Bruce. Am I going to use Wednesday's game as that opportunity? No, I'm not, because let's face it, Newcastle fans, Steve Bruce, he said as much in his press conferences. He knows we aren't a fan of him. He knows we aren't on board generally as a fan base with him as a manager. I just think Wednesday we should enjoy it. We've been locked away like hamsters for the best part of the year. We have not enjoyed going in a football stadium and watching our beloved Newcastle United for 15 months. Let's just go in, have a couple of pints before, go in the stadium, hopefully see a good performance. We'll get behind the lads and see 3 points, sing our hearts out if we can, and just create some sort of atmosphere. If there's one set of fans in the country, in the world, who can create an atmosphere with 10,000 people in a 52,000 seat stadium, it's Newcastle fans. So I'm hoping I hear plenty of that. St. James's Park at the best of times is not the best atmosphere. I totally agree with most Newcastle fans who think that it's not the atmosphere it was 10, 15 years ago. But let's give it a go on Wednesday. Let's feel good. We're safe. We mathematically safe. Nothing left to play for. We've improved in the last couple of weeks. We allowed back in stadiums. The pubs are back open. The cinemas are back open. We can get our haircuts. We can, let's just. I don't want Wednesday to make the headlines for being every single one of us screaming for the full 90 minutes at Steve Bruce. People trying to chuck stuff at him and all this sort of stuff. Yes, we want to get our message across, but he knows. He's not an idiot. Well, say he's not an idiot. That's maybe a different conversation for a different day, but I'd like to see us just absolutely go after Sheffield United. If we can play some free-flowing football against Leicester City, who've just won the FA Cup on Saturday, if we can score goals and create chances against Manchester City, the best team in the world, regardless of whether they were a changed team, we can certainly go after Sheffield United and really, really cause them problems, because all I'm asking for from that group of players on Wednesday is, after an absolutely shit show of a season, this season, if you were to sum it up in a couple of words, they aren't going to be positive words, really, are they? Let's just give us something. We've had an awful year, up and down. Newcastle fans arguing between themselves whether they like Bruce, what the problem is. We've all had awful years with lockdown. I just want to see a bit of entertainment on Wednesday and some goals and a good performance, just so us 10,000 fans, as well as every single Newcastle fan watching on telly, just has a nice end to the season, and it's going that way. Leicester was good. Man City, we could not have asked for any more. Wednesday, Sheffield United, that's got to be a win. And then Fulham away at the last game of the season. Let's go there and put on a show. Let's just end with a bit of positivity after what has been an absolutely shite performance as a season. So yeah, I'm hopeful. Sheffield United, they're not going to be an easy opponent, because, like I say, the confidence has come from them. They've got players like McGoldrick, he's got a bit of pace about him. They've got a couple of decent players in their midfield. When we played them back in, was it December? We made them look like Brazil. I'll never forget that performance. That was absolutely disgraceful, bearing in mind the form Sheffield United were in. We don't want any more of that this time around. I am going to go for a Newcastle win. I'm fully expectant of 3 points, and I don't think I've said that all season. I genuinely, hand on heart, hope to die, have not said that I expect 3 points. On Wednesday I am, because of how we playing, the attacking players we have, and the mediocrity of Sheffield United. No disrespect to them if any of them fans are watching this. They've had an awful season. They're probably going to want to end on a positive note as well, like they did on Sunday. But I'm going to go for a win. I'll go for 3-1. 3-1 Newcastle's my prediction this week. But I'm going to be in the stadium watching it. And obviously, Newcastle fans, drop in the comments, let me know your predictions for the Sheffield United game. I am going to be doing a full blog of arriving in the stadium. I want every single Newcastle fan who is not able to go to the game, which is very, very unfortunate, to see what it's like. It's going to be weird. I can't go for a beer. I've got to do a questionnaire 24 hours before. I don't know what getting into the stadium is going to be like, whether I can stand up and sing. I'm going to do a full documented video as best I can, because I've never done my YouTube videos since the stadiums have been open, so I'm hoping this becomes a regular thing. I'm on the front row, Newcastle fans, on the east stand. I'm hopefully going to have a flag, so if you do spot a black and white banter badge, please let me know. Drop in the comments, let me know your predictions for the match. As always, like and subscribe to this video and get us on Facebook and Instagram. I've just put a Facebook video today on this day when Kevin Keegan retired and the helicopter came down for him. Absolutely amazing video. So make sure you give us a follow on Facebook, and I'll catch up with you on my Instagram, my story. If you want to get me on there, I will be documenting the whole day on Wednesday, going to the game. Everything from the beers before all the way through. And if you do want to meet me for a pint before the match to jump on a video, let me know in the comments or drop me an email. Thanks for watching, Newcastle fans. We are back in St. James's Park. Come on.